Hello parents, my name's Glenn Tharrier and I'm the head teacher of Elmbridge Primary School. I'm absolutely delighted that you've decided to send your child to such a fantastic school, Elmbridge Primary School. We're really looking forward to welcoming your lovely children at the school. I'm going to show you a brief presentation based on what we call our school curriculum intent is. It's really our vision for the school in terms of our provision for your children. The first point is to say that we really want children to become confident in all that they do. We want to instill that level of confidence to embrace the next stage of their learning. And this means that we provide our children with the belief in their ability to do the best that they can do and have that yes, I can mindset. And we really see that throughout the whole school. Children are encouraged and they're encouraged to be aspirational. The second bullet point really is about encouraging children to have inquiring minds and being independent and resilient. And right from the onset, you'll notice the fantastic early years foundation stage teaching staff really helping children develop their independence straight away. Asking, they put their coats on themselves, they start self-regulating their own activities, and we really see that progress really quickly from the very early start of joining Elmbridge Primary School. So we foster curiosity through a wide range of experiential opportunities, and it's key as part of our curriculum design. We like our children to sort of problem solve for themselves, think for themselves, and not be afraid to make mistakes. It's really important that children, they learn from their mistakes, and we encourage them to overcome challenges that they may face, which is central to our curriculum. Third bullet point is the value and the importance of reading. Cannot stress enough the importance of reading. Reading is everything at Elmbridge Primary School. It's the gateway for children to access the world around them. They reading purposely and frequently for pleasure is crucial in supporting their well-being, curiosity, and academic success. Children are encouraged to develop their speaking and listening skills, again, right from the onset in a range of activities, and writing and presenting work for a purpose is all highly valued at Elmbridge Primary School. The fourth bullet point, staff and pupils will know how to look after their physical and mental health. You may have noticed through the visual virtual tour that we've got a running track, and we do encourage, again, from reception all the way through to year 6, children to run every day, to have frequent exercise and have healthy and active lifestyles. We also nurture our staff and our pupils alike to develop meaningful and respectful relationships with each other, as well as offer strategies to overcome challenges that they may face. The other last point really is about staff showing respect, tolerance, and compassion for each other. Our curriculum is designed to recognise and celebrate our multicultural school. We're so blessed with having a multicultural school, promoting mutual respect for each other, and we adopt restorative principles to strengthen our school community. My middle daughter came to the school in year 5, and I asked her what the main thing was that she liked about Elmbridge. She said, well, children are much more respectful here than the school she was at previously, and that's a really key factor for us, that the children are very respectful. The last point is really about our curriculum as a whole. We know that we need to equip our children for lifelong learning skills. So we're always reviewing our curriculum. In fact, we're going through a curriculum review at the moment, looking at all our subjects and making sure they are equipping our children for the future. At the very bottom of the screen, you will notice that these are our values that we explicitly and implicitly teach our children. So aspiration, I've already mentioned, we have an aspirational curriculum. We want our children to aspire to be the best they can be. Respect, I've touched on respect as a value we feel is vital in our school, so we encourage respect at every opportunity. Courage is something about having a go at something new. Perhaps if you're struggling with something, have a go at something, use the resources around you, and not be afraid to make mistakes, which is part of our ethos of our school. Resilience, I've also touched on. That's about equipping children with strategies to help overcome challenges that might be tricky for them, and to help them emotionally get through things that are tricky. Initiative is a very difficult word to explain to some children, but it's about using the resources around you and your own thoughts, your thinking, to overcome perhaps a problem that you might be facing. So we try and develop and foster initiative of our children. And last but not least, responsibility. As children move through the school, the level of responsibility increases, and we expect our children to be more responsible as they go through the school. I just wanted to add another slide about it's not that recent now, it's 3 years ago, where we had an Ofsted, and Ofsted thought we were very, very good, very strong school. And I've just put some bullet points up there pertaining to, particularly when they start at the early years. So they've noted that leaders effective arrangements for children starting at the school enable children to integrate well and settle into school routines quickly. And that's something which when Mrs. Hawkins goes through the staggered entry for the children, it's a tried and trusted system, and it works really, really well. And all the children are so well placed when they start fully just before the October half term. Teachers ensure that both indoor and outdoor areas are enticing and well planned. And I think I'm blessed with this school in having a fantastic, huge outdoor area for our early years foundation stage. And there's lots of activities to help them develop. And consequently, they're inspired and excited to learn and explore, which is really, really crucial. Going back to our curriculum intent. Probably the proudest thing I have about Elmbridge Primary School is the relationships across the school. All our teaching staff and children are very supportive of each other. Behaviour is very good, and they happily turn and share ideas and equipment with other children. It's something which we're really proud of. And last but not least, again, there's a strong culture of safeguarding within the school. We're very keen to make sure health and safety is paramount. Safeguarding of children is really, really important for the school. I hope that's given you a bit of a flavour, and I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you when you start fully in school. And I'm going to hand you over now to Natalie Hawkins, who's going to talk to you about what happens when you first come into school.
So at Elmbridge, we have 3 classes. There are 30 children within each class, and your child will be placed either into the rabbits class, the hedgehogs class, or the badgers class. You will find this out quite soon. We will send information in a letter and let you know. We've sent out some friend request forms, which I ask you to get back by the date that we asked, and then we can sort the classes out and let you know as soon as possible. So, what can you do to get ready for school, to help your child get ready for school? They'll need a school uniform, and you can get this from the Monk House Schoolwear, which is in town in Gloucester. You can also order online. We do ask that they have a jumper or a cardigan with the school logo on, and also the book bag that you can get from there. Any other uniform, like their polo shirts, their skirts, their trousers, shorts, dresses, these can be purchased in any of the supermarkets. You can buy the polo shirts with the logos on. However, I would say that, you know, the children in reception, we do have messy play out. They can get a little bit dirty when they're playing. So probably just the supermarket polo shirts are absolutely fine. As you can see, the girls can choose to wear a dress or a skirt or a pinafore dress. Boys usually just trousers or shorts in the warmer weather in September. PE kit. So when the children start in school, we do ask for a PE kit, but all that we'd like you to provide up first is a red t-shirt and black shorts, as you can see on the picture here. In our prospectus, you'll see we do have an outdoor kit as well, but we actually don't introduce outdoor PE until the summer term later on in the year. So initially they don't need trainers, they don't need the joggers or you know, the sweatshirts. Just a red t-shirt and black shorts will be fine for our first term in school. You can buy the red PE bags, again from the school uniform shop, but any drawstring bag will be fine for that. The one thing that I cannot stress enough in all of their clothes, whether it's their school uniform clothes, their PE kit, is please, 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 can you put your child's name in everything? We'll say if the child's name is in there, there's a very good chance that, you know, that they're going to get it back. When the children change for PE, you can imagine on our classrooms, we have 30 children changing. And at one point they will say, I can't find my jumper, it's a red one. And you know, we instruct them how to look after their own clothes when they change, but obviously things do go missing. So if the name is in there, it's so much easier for us to get the clothes and things back to the right child. So please, 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 names in everything. Thank you. So we do have lovely outdoor areas in Elmbridge, and our forest school area is one of those, and the children will experience outdoor learning. So for this, that we ask you to provide a kit of old clothes. Something warm, think about the weather at the time. So when they go outside, they will need to cover up their legs and their arms. There is a list again in our prospectus, a list of clothes to provide in there. Wellies are very important, and we keep the wellies in school all of the time. When the children access our outdoor learning areas, they will independently, if it is a little bit wet out there, we teach them to independently put their wellies on, so that when they go out, their school shoes don't get so wet. We'll change into our outdoor learning kits if we are doing learning out in Forest School. So anything covers that's nice and warm for those winter months, that covers their arms and legs, and waterproof clothes. And we do have some waterproofs in school that we can put on some children. If you've got something, then that's great if you can pop that in the bag. And we do ask for that to be provided in a different bag to the PE kit, because obviously when we're asking them to change for PE, it's easier if their PE kit is in one bag and their outdoor learning kit is in a separate bag. It's just easier for the children to find the right bag to get changed. We do ask that the children are able to independently use the toilet and obviously wash their hands afterwards. With so many children, we can't be taking the children down to the toilet all of the time. If there's something you need to speak about your child, if you do have a personal issue, then just speak to one of the members of staff. I'm going to go through later times that you're going to be able to come into school and obviously meet us teachers, and the children can come in as well. So just let us know if you have any worries in this area. By September, if the children can be independently going off to use the toilet and wash their hands, then that makes it much easier for us in school. The toilets the children use are very close to the classrooms, so they don't have to actually go far to use the toilet away from their classroom area. We do ask that the children have practiced learning how to tidy up and share toys. So obviously, as I say, we have 30 children in a class, and they have to learn how to share toys, with other children. And also that once they've got some toys out, before they move on to a different activity, we do ask them to put those toys away. So in the summer, it'd be really helpful if the children are getting toys out at home, is just, not for them just to leave them all over the floor. If you could remind them that when you're at school, you will have to put those away, and you can practice doing that at home, that would be great for us as well. You will receive a booklet, a starting school booklet, because lots of people say, what should I be doing with my child? I always say that if your child is showing an interest, in writing, then that's great. Encourage anything. If they're learning to write their name, then we do ask that they use a capital letter for their first initial, and then after that, all lowercase letters, because that's how we will teach them to write their name. We find if they come and they're writing all in capital letters, it's quite hard to undo that. So if you could, show them what the little letters look like, that's great. If your child is not showing any interest at all, that's fine. Children come to us at all different levels. So, please don't worry. Encourage them to mark make, to be used in pens and pencils and felt tips, getting used to, holding those and making marks on paper. We don't expect any children to come to school being able to write or, write their name. It's helpful if they can recognise their name in print. So if you could write, their name down, because when they come in, their name will be on their drawer, it will be on their peg in the cloakroom. So, it is helpful if they can actually recognise their name, and it helps them find their things in school. But there are lots of ideas in the little brochure of things that you can do before your child comes in September. So lunchtimes at school, all children up until the end of year 2 at the moment are entitled to a free school lunch every day. So at Elmbridge, we offer 3 choices every day. And the children, when they come into school, and again, when you come in with your child, you'll see, we'll be able to show you how they make their lunch choice. But you will receive a menu, and it's often really good for you to go through that menu in the morning with the children, so that when they come into school, they know which lunch choice they're going to make. And in reception, they actually have a picture of themselves, a photograph of their face, which they put on a coloured lunch board. So we have a red dinner, a green dinner and a yellow dinner every day. The children very quickly get into that routine. If they could be able to use a knife and a fork, then that's good. And we do expect table manners when we go in there. So when the children have finished their lunch, we like them to put their hand up before they start their pudding, because obviously we want to make sure that they're eating enough of their dinner before they start their pudding. You can, if you look at the menu and you think my child won't like anything on there for that day, then you can send in some sandwiches, a packed lunch. We are a healthy school, so we do ask for it to be a nice healthy lunch, with a sandwich and maybe a piece of fruit and maybe just one little, snack treat in there as well. So in reception, we follow something called, it goes from birth to 5 years old, the foundation stage. So your child has actually, if they've been going to nursery and playgroup, they've actually been following the foundation stage curriculum from birth, and they have, little development levels that they would follow. So our curriculum is taught loosely through topics. So we do have topics. We also look at the children's interests as well, so things that they like to play with, and we will feed the learning through their own interests. We have adult directed activities, and that's times when we will say to the children that we would like you to come and do, and we call them jobs. You will hear that, this job with me. So we can do direct teaching through that and direct them to an activity. We set the children independent challenges, so we'll explain what we'd like them to do, and then at some time during the morning we expect them to go and complete that activity or that challenge, and they've had a little go at something all on their own. And they also have their child initiated learning time. We call this our provision time. It's when the children will go off and they will choose their own activity. They will choose what they want to play with and who they want to play. And as practitioners, as teachers, our role then is to go into the play with them, and then we can feed any learning, we can question them, we can observe them, we can move the learning on through their own play. Development Matters is a document that we use as a guide, and it kind of sets out the stages that children should be working through from birth to 5 years old. And we work towards something called an early learning goal. And we have 17 early learning goals, which are in 7 different areas of learning. So the first 3 are called our prime areas, and they are communication and language, which is all about speaking and listening and understanding. Our personal, social and emotional development, obviously how the children are getting on with and playing with each other, learning to share, learning to be resilient. And physical development, and that is both the gross motor and the fine motor development. We have our literacy, which is obviously our reading and our writing, mathematics, and then we have an area called understanding the world, which will be what you might know as geography and history and RE, and science as well. And then we have our expressive arts and design, which is our art and our music and our role play. We use something called Tapestry, which is an online learning journal. You may have used this in your preschool session already. There will be a letter that will go out to you that you need to sign and provide an email address. So what this allows us to do is to record photographs and comments of the learning that the children are doing in school, and we can upload that to the Tapestry journal. You can then have a look, you can see what the children are getting up to in school, you can make a comment on there. You can also upload your own observations, and it's a really good link between obviously yourself at home and us in school. And it gets away from that, some children, when you say to them, what have you done today? And they will say nothing, but they obviously haven't. They've had a lovely busy day. So you'll be able to have a look and you can say, oh, but I can see that you did this today. And it will allow you, just to talk about what the children have been getting up to, and they can let you know. There's a couple of quotes there, previous parents that, it does work well. And, parents really enjoy that. As I say, you just need to sign a form. We do have some guidelines that you just need to sign and agree, provide us with an email address, and we will get that all set up for you. So things are a little bit different this year, obviously due to COVID and the restrictions. But from June the 21st, then obviously, luckily, we'll be allowing you to come into school with your children. You will, once the classes have been set, you will receive a letter, and that will give you your exact date. So for the moment, I'm able to provide you with all of the dates and the times, but you will be allocated one of these sessions, which will be on the letter that comes out to you very soon. So the first visit will be a stay and play session, and that will be in each class. There will be 15 parents and 15 children. And for an hour, you'll be able to come into the classroom with your child and 14 other parents and children. You will meet your teacher, visit the classroom. You'll be able to go and have a play in our outdoor learning area as well. So it's a chance for you to come into school. Your child gets to see school and the classroom. They're with you as a parent, adult. Stay for an hour, have a play, have a chat with us. So it's kind of a lovely first meeting. The 1st of July is kind of our school move-up day. So each year group will go and meet their new teacher in their new classroom. So what we will do is, on that occasion, the children will come into school for an hour, but you will leave them at the classroom door, and they will come in just with myself or their teacher and their teaching assistant and come in and play for an hour. We do it in 2 sessions, so there's just 15 children at a time. So that's what we're going to be able to do kind of the end of this academic year for you. And then in September, we do have a phasing in period. And we say there's a lot to learn for the children in the first term. And we usually find that people say, well, they've been full-time at nursery, my children are used to it. School is very, very different. And you'll find that, the children are going to be very tired when they first come. They have an awful lot to learn. It's very, very different for them. So for your child, it allows us to introduce things gradually to them. We can work in a smaller group, and we find that balance between school and home life. We want the children to love coming to school. We don't want them to be sad or upset at leaving you. We want school to be a fun place to come. And for us as teachers, it allows us to really get to know the children. We'll see where the children are. We will do a baseline assessment to see where the children are on their entry to school, and then we work from there. So it's really important that we can get to know the children very well. So we're going to do, if we used to offer, well, we will do hopefully in the future again, but this year we're not able to offer home visits. We just don't know what the situation will be like in September. So what we're going to offer is a school visit, and that will be on the 6th, the 7th or the 8th of September. And you will be able to actually book this session. When you come in for the stay and play session, you'll be able to book this school visit, and that will replace a home visit that we used to do. So you will come in, it will be a 10-minute appointment, if you like, or slot, that you can come into school with your child, and it will be a 10-minute one-to-one with the teacher and the teaching assistant in the classroom. You'll be able to ask us any questions, any worries that you might have, give us any extra information that you think we need to know about your child, and your child can just come in, and have that little play on their own in the classroom. So following that, this is the first week at term. So the first 3 days we'll be doing these school visits. On the Thursday and Friday, we're actually going to have the children coming in for an hour in very small groups of 7 or 8 of them, that they can come in. Again, it just allows us, it's kind of an extra thing that we can offer, that we'll be able to meet the children in very small groups, have an hour just to come and play with them before they actually come in the next week, properly to school. You will get a copy of this. So this is the induction timetable. The first week at the top is what I've just talked about the individual school visits on the Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, the children doing a class visit on the Thursday and Friday. And then after that, when you get your letter telling you which class you're in, you'll also be allocated a group A or a group B. And depending on which group you're in, that will obviously depend on when you will be coming into school. So from the week commencing the 13th of September, Group A will come for a morning session and Group B will come for the afternoon. The week after, you'll see there's 4 days where we swap over, and Group B will come in for a morning and Group A for the afternoon. And then we introduce lunch. So Group B on the Friday of that week will come in and they will stay to lunch. And the reason we do this is so that all of the adults, all of the teachers and the teaching assistants can actually go into the lunch hall with the children on this first time. We'll sit with them and we'll have their dinner. Then we will take them out to play in the lunch play area, and we will stay with them for the whole of the lunchtime. We do that twice, so Group A will have their lunch session on the Monday of the next week, then Group B will just have another lunch session, Group A, and then Group B on the Thursday will do a whole day in school. Group A will then do a whole day in school on the Friday, and from the week after, the two groups will merge and they will all come together, and then they will be in school all day, every day from that point. So I hope this, I will leave that one up. I hope that's given you, some information to start with. If you have any questions at all, then please just give us a ring on the school office. You will receive your letter, which will give you the date for that first stay and play session, and that is the first time that obviously we'll be able to meet you and your children. But if you have any worries or concerns or extra questions, please just give us an email or a ring, and then we'll be able, to hopefully answer that question. So I look forward to seeing you, and we will see you very soon. Thank you.